This is not a story about gods. This is a story about a civilization that was forced to abandon its world. Many years ago, the inhabitants of the planet Terra crossed the false sky and journeyed across the cosmos, transported through the Ether Gate to a distant moon orbiting the planet Talos. The people of Terra decided to call this new place their home, unaware of the various dangers that awaited them. While we might not know why the Terrans left their home planet in the first place, this is the story of what happened next. This is the story that takes place 152 years later on Talos 2. This is the story of Arknights ENDFIELD. Hey guys, it's Bane here, and today I'm breaking down the lore of Arknights ENDFIELD for you. Whether you're completely new or already deep into the Arknights universe, by the end of this video, you'll understand where Enfield takes place, who you are in this world, and what kind of story it is telling us. And the most important thing is you don't actually need to know the Arknights lore to understand Enfield's story. Starting off, we need to understand where and when Enfield actually takes place. While the original story of Arknights takes place on a planet Terra, the events of Enfield take place on Talos 2, which is the second moon of a gas giant called Talos. Now the people of Terra arrived here through something called the Ether Gate, which connected both Terra and Talos 2 and is located at the north poles of these worlds. The time when Terrans first appeared on Talos 2 is denoted as Year 0, and the story of Enfield starts 152 years later on Year 152. Talos 2 isn't a dead world, but it's also not a safe one. The atmosphere of Talos 2 is rich in nitrogen, oxygen and greenhouse gases enough to sustain life, and also has a rich biosphere containing mountain ranges, rivers, vegetation, along with its native flora and fauna. But the most important feature of Talos 2 is what lies to the north. Over the past 100 years, no one has been able to reach the northern polar region of Talos 2 because of something called the auroral barrier. What's interesting is that Talos 2's auroral barrier is similar to the false sky covering Terra, and it disrupts any sort of technology near it, making it vastly unexplored and unknown. In Year 5, Talos 2 witnessed the first Angloid War, which was fought between the Terrans and weird creatures called the Angloid. It was during this war that the Ether Gate got destroyed, and it now lies beneath Talos 2's aurora, beyond the reach of the Terrans. Now majority of the Terrans live within an area called the Civilization Band, which is governed by many organizations, most of which came into being after the First Angloid War. The most important of these organizations are Enfield Industries, which is an advanced technological and industrial company seeking to expand the frontiers of Talos 2. UWST, which is a union of self-governing workers. TGCC, also known as the Cartel, and is the most powerful corporate conglomerate in Talos 2. Hongshan Academy of Sciences, that does R&D, scientific progress, and takes care of food production. Order of Steel Oath, which is an order of knights called Oath Keepers who fight the Angloid. Rhodes Island, a pharma company back in Terra that started an autonomous branch in Talos 2 and helped in founding Enfield Industries. Now comes the most important question. Who are we in Enfield? We play the character known as Endministrator, who is also called the Endmin, the leader of Enfield Industries, a legendary figure from Talos 2's past with immense feats protecting the civilization during multiple catastrophes. But sadly, the Endmin remembers none of this and apparently goes to hibernate at the end of every crisis. Interestingly, while the Administrator's face is shown in most trailers, in-game Enmin has to wear a mask to stabilize their vitals. In some of the trailers, you can also see the Enmin's face showing golden cracks of energy, hinting that maybe Enmin isn't human at all, but instead a being created from energy who goes to hibernate once that energy is expended. Talking about energy brings us to Originium, a crystalline ore which is the primary source of energy in Talos 2 and was brought here all the way from Terra. The administrator is also shown to have a mysterious mastery over Originium, which gives rise to the possibility that they could be a being born purely from said Originium. Since we now know who the protagonist of the story is, it's time to find out who are the antagonists that threaten the Terrans on Talos 2. First are the Arknights, who are mysterious creatures composed of natural matter and are created by these structures called anchors. Arknights are said to be more endemic to Talos 2 and are the first known threat to Terrans, coming in different sizes and appearances. It is also said that the creation of Arknights from anchors is said to resemble industrial production, making it hard to say if the Arknights are even living creatures. The next threat is called the Blight, which is a hazardous anomaly that occurs in Talos 2. The Blight is more dangerous than the Arknights as it can physically erode matter and even distort space and time. Blight is said to originate from the Ether side, which is an alternate dimension or even a dying universe that overlaps into real space on Talos 2. The barrier between these dimensions can result in ruptures called Aether Rifts that bring about Blight onto Talos 2. Now, while Blight can cause hallucinations, mental and physical strain, there is a strange character in-game who apparently can control this Blight and use it to temporarily increase the strength of her henchmen, as seen with this in-game boss. This character's name is Nefereth, and she is the leader of a raider group called the Bone Crushers. Now, the Bone Crushers are actually one of 3 clans belonging to a group of raiders called the Landbreakers. The Landbreakers are basically criminals who made a living through robbery and violence, and interestingly, they were first formed by a former hero of the First Angloid War called Jacob Mason. Although the original group of Landbreakers were destroyed, Jacob's legacy was passed on to 3 clans, namely the Bone Crushers, Sand Reavers, and the Pack. Apart from all of this, it could be possible that the real threat could be this unkillable boss we face in the prologue of this game. This boss, who is named Eranis, seems to be summoned by another enigmatic, unnamed character who might have something to do with the Aether side and could very well be the ultimate villain of the story. Now, while I've covered the basic lore you need to know, there are many more organizations and factions for you to meet, many more areas for you to explore, and many more enemies for you to fight. All of which is part of the Enmin's journey with other characters called Enfielders to make Talos 2 a safe haven for the Terrans, and also find out what's hidden beneath the auroral barrier. But all of that could be for another video, or even better experienced when you play the story yourself. The opening of Enfield's story can feel a little slow at first, especially with mandatory tutorials which try to ease us into the game. But beneath all this is a world rich with history, looming threats, and a protagonist whose origins are far more mysterious than they first appear. And because of that, Arknights Enfield is shaping up to be a story you really don't want to miss. So thank you guys for watching, and huge thank you to Griffline for giving me this opportunity to cover Enfield's lore. You can check out the game by clicking the link in my description below and immerse yourself in the world of Talos 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.